Hello and welcome to New England Sports Today with myself, Samuel Reese, live from Lexington, Kentucky. So we'll get right into some big news around MLB. The report that the Dodgers acquired Manny Machado from the Orioles for 5 prospects. Manny Machado this season played 96 games with a .315 average, 24 home runs, and 65 RBI. So we have some yes or no's here for the Red Sox. I'll answer these myself later, and you can answer them yourselves on the chat here. Will the Red Sox win the AL East? Will JD Martinez win the Triple Crown? And will JD Martinez hit 50 home runs this season? And also, is Mookie Betts MVP caliber? He's definitely MVP caliber, I'd say, because this season he's played 78 games with a .359 average, which is first in the league, 79 runs, second in the league, .448 OBP, which is second in the league, .691 slugging percentage, first in the league, and a .139 OPS, first in the league. Mookie Betts this season has played 78 games with a .359 average, 23 home runs, and 51 RBI. Also, here's what you need to know. Drew Pomeranz with the Paw Sox in AAA last night pitched 6 innings, just allowed a hit, an earned run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts in 69 pitches. So a good performance by Pomeranz. And here's today's trivia. Who was drafted with the pick before Marcus Smart in the 2014 NBA draft? The answers are Aaron Gordon, Dante Exum, or Joel Embiid. I'll answer that later in the show. And I report that Marcus Smart and the Celtics in talks for a 4-year contract in the $46 to $50 million range. And Smart in his 2017-18 regular season played 54 games, 10.2 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game, 4.8 assists per game, and 1.3 steals. Terry Rozier in the 2017-18 postseason played 19 games, 16.5 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 5.7 assists per game. Also, the Raptors acquired Kawhi Leonard from the Spurs in a deal involving DeMar DeRozan. So that's the big news right now, and everything we're going to talk about in the next half hour in this edition of New England Sports Today in this show. All right, so let's start off with the big news in MLB. The Dodgers acquired Manny Machado from the Orioles for 5 prospects, that is, and a big move for the Dodgers because Manny Machado, definitely one of the best players in the league, making the All-Star game as we saw, and it's good for the Red Sox and all the teams in the AL, really, probably, because the Orioles are one less team. Well, the Orioles and Manny Machado, when they're good, are one less team to worry about. And it's a good move for the Dodgers getting Manny Machado, but they did have to give it came at a price. They have to give the Orioles 5 prospects. So for trading prospects, you never really know what they're going to do or how they're going to be. So it's really a question mark of how good those 5 prospects will be. So we'll wait and see how they'll do. And Manny Machado, we figured that he was going to make a move because he was on the Orioles. The Orioles have been always a mediocre team, and this year one of the worst in the league, the worst team in the league for a majority of the season. And he was too good to be on the Orioles, basically. No offense to the Orioles, but everyone saw this move coming. Just no one really knew where, because there were reports quite recently that the Yankees were in talks with him, which was worrying for Red Sox fans. But it's good that he's going to the NL. We don't have to worry about Manny Machado anymore. And this season, Manny Machado has played 96 games with a .315 average, 24 home runs, and 65 RBI. So he's played almost every game. I think that might be every game, to be honest. And a great batting average. He's one of the league leading players for home runs and 65 RBI, so not bad for Manny Machado, and good for him to be going to the Dodgers out west in LA. And also, let's answer some questions. Yes or no? Will the Red Sox win the AL East? I want you the people, your thoughts. And personally, I think yes, because they're 4.5 games above the Yankees right now, and we'll see how everything goes with the Red Sox. But I feel like the Red Sox are only going to get better. Their hitters have been great. Their pitching's been pretty good, and the Red Sox are in good shape. And I don't see the Yankees. They may get a pitcher, but there's not too many good pitchers out there. So it's a question mark to see how the Yankees will do. And I don't see the Yankees catching up. 4.5 games back. I don't see it happening. And will JD Martinez win the Triple Crown? This one for me is a no, because I feel like Mookie Betts will get the best batting average. I think JD will get the other two, but not batting average. I don't see Mookie Betts going downhill, and I can't see JD Martinez having the best average in the league. But who knows? It could happen. And speaking of Mookie Betts, he's played 78 games this season, and he has the best batting average in the league, 359. Just phenomenal by Mookie Betts. And second in runs with 79, second in OBP with 448, 691 slugging, which is first, and first in OPS. So Mookie Betts, you could argue he's the best player in the AL because or in the league even probably, because he's had an outstanding season. He's still pretty young, and but he's been phenomenal with the Red Sox. I mean, a 360 batting average, that's definitely impressive. And it'll be fun to see what he does. This season, as I mentioned, he played 78 games with a 359 average. He's hit 23 home runs, and he has a 51 RBI. So more impressive stats. He's 23 home runs. He's catching up he's close to JD anyway, and 51 RBI, not bad at all. So the Red Sox looking pretty good with Mookie Betts and JD Martinez very, very hot right now and getting a lot of home runs, hits, RBIs, all that. So league leading in a lot of stats. So it's impressive what they have been doing. Also, as I said, Drew Pomeranz, he's with the Paw Sox in AAA. Last night he pitched 6 innings, had a hit, allowed an earned run, but just 2 walks and 5 strikeouts in 69 pitches. So a pretty good outing for Drew Pomeranz, trying to make his way back up to the big leagues. And it'll be interesting to see if the Red Sox ever call him up before the end of the season. But good stuff there with Pomeranz. Obviously, the Paw Sox not having the best of seasons, and so it will be interesting to see how Pomeranz does and if the Red Sox will need him later in the season. Also, as I mentioned, Marcus Smart and the Celtics are in talks for a 4-year contract in the $46 to $50 million range. So I think that's great for the Celtics, because I feel like they need Marcus Smart, because if Marcus Smart left, I feel like we'd be losing a little bit of something. I know he's not a superstar player, but he brings to the team what they need. He helps get the wins, and he does the stuff on the court, the hard work, and I feel like it's good for him and the Celtics because I feel like if he went to another team, it wouldn't be as good for him. I feel like the Celtics is the place where he fits in, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And the Celtics need him because of the hard work he puts in, and he helps the team. This is him in the 2017 and 18 regular season. He played 54 games with 10.2 points per game and 3.5 rebounds per game, 4.8 assists per game, and 1.3 steals. So impressive stuff by Marcus Smart. And also, let's talk a little Terry Rozier. In the postseason, obviously, he was phenomenal. He played 19 games, 16.5 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 5.7 assists per game. So Terry Rozier, definitely a guy to keep an eye on. And he'll come off the bench and provide some help for the starters, and I feel like he'll be a good piece in the Celtics lineup for this upcoming season. Also, big news elsewhere: the Raptors acquire Kawhi Leonard from the Spurs in a deal involving DeMar DeRozan. So with Kawhi going to the Raptors, it will make the East a little not a cakewalk, definitely, for the Celtics, because there's some other good teams too. And with Kawhi, if he's healthy and playing really well in Toronto, obviously not the place he wanted to go, but in Toronto, if he plays well and he's healthy, they'll be a good team. Obviously, losing DeRozan, with DeRozan going to the West, I feel like Kawhi, if he performs well, he'll be a better player than DeRozan, I think. And so yeah, that will be interesting to see. Also, the New England Revolution played Minnesota United last night in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the Revolution falling 2-1 in that game. Disappointing loss after going down 2-0 at halftime. Fagundes did score a penalty early on in the second half, but it wasn't enough for the Revolution to at least get a point out of the game. So a little disappointing for New England Revolution fans. And so 2 straight losses. We'll see what's next for them as they play on the weekend. And so that's your little Revolution news there. And also, we'll enter today's trivia in a couple of minutes. But I wanted to get back to the Red Sox. How does everyone feel? They're back from the All-Star break tomorrow to take on the Tigers and I don't know if it's a 3 or 4 game series, but they'll take on the Tigers. Obviously, Detroit not having that good of a season, so I feel like the Red Sox should sweep, and they have a couple of easy series really before they play the Yankees, which will be the all important series. So we should get our wins in these first, I think, 3 series, and then the Yankees are what we'll really need to focus on. And so, what do you people think? Do you think they have enough to win the division, the Red Sox, or what do you think about the Yankees? Will they? How will the Red Sox and the Yankees fare out in their series? Because that will ultimately determine who wins this division. And what does everyone think? And speaking of the Celtics, also, what does everyone think about Marcus Smart signing an extension? Because I think it's some little news, but I think it's some little big news, I'd say, because I think it's definitely a good extension if the reports are correct that they're in talks for a 4-year contract. That is, so I think it's big for the Celtics, and I'll be interested to see if in the next couple of days if it will be official. And also the Red Sox, as I said, back from the All-Star break tomorrow night. Just one MLB game tonight. The Cardinals taking on the Cubs, and then all the other games back on Friday night tomorrow. So that will be fun to see baseball season, the second half of the season, I should say, back in action, and the second half will be on, and baseball season will be back, and the race for the AL East championship will continue with the Red Sox 4.5 games up. So, in a little bit of a sturdy control, I'd say. Mookie Betts, JD Martinez obviously having great seasons, but Chris Sale also having a phenomenal season. Will he keep up these performances? I think he will. I feel like this Red Sox team will move on from where they left off, if not get even better, because the way they're playing, they're phenomenal. So I definitely feel like the Red Sox will win the division, and I'm not sure how the Yankees will do, to be honest. But I don't see them. I don't see them catching up, to be honest. And with Drew Pomeranz in AAA, as I mentioned, it's interesting to see if we'll need him. Obviously, he was on the Red Sox last season for a majority of it, but he struggled a little bit. Didn't play that well. But with a pretty good performance with the Paw Sox last night, it's good news to hear, because that's why I said it's what you need to know, because for Red Sox fans, we need to hear about other pitchers, because we have Sale, Price when he shows up, and Kimbrel as a reliever. We have Rodriguez, that's true, but we need better pitching. I feel like we obviously have better pitching than the Yankees, I'd say. Just the Yankees really only have Severino, I feel like. So it will be interesting to see how that all goes. And Terry Rozier, he had a great postseason, but we'll see where it leaves off from now, with Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward returning for this season. Terry Rozier won't play as much. Excuse me, obviously, but we'll see how his contribution off the bench will help the Celtics, and especially with Leonard going to the Raptors, I feel like it will be not an easy ride to the NBA Finals. Let's get one in the East and then see, because there's some other teams like Washington. They have Dwight Howard now, remember, and also the Raptors, also 76ers, remember that, with Embiid, Simmons, and some good youth there, with the process going on. But anyway, we'll see how everything goes there, because it will be an exciting season in the NBA, I feel like, especially if the Celtics make it to the final. For us Boston sports fans, it'll be a fun season, and their season will begin shortly before the Red Sox season will be. Hopefully the Red Sox season goes as long as possible, all the way to late October. Even I think the World Series goes into like the first day of November. So hopefully the Red Sox will go deep into the playoffs in a deep playoff run. And also, before the show ends, let's answer today's trivia. So the question was, who was drafted with the pick before Marcus Smart in the 2014 NBA draft? So the multiple choice possible answers were Aaron Gordon, Dante Exum, or Joel Embiid. So the answer is Dante Exum. He got drafted to Utah, still playing with the Jazz right now. So he was the draft pick before Marcus Smart. Wiggins actually being the first pick then, 2014 NBA draft, 4 years ago, believe it or not. It seems like a while. And that was when Marcus Smart was drafted out of Oklahoma State by the Celtics. So I hope you enjoyed the show, New England Sports Today. I'll be on tomorrow, same time. And I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you tomorrow before the weekend. All right, bye. See ya. Have a good day. Bye. Put the tune through the M3.